Golf Channel's exclusive coverage of the LPGA Tour is presented by Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable.
It is an absolutely perfect day for the final round of the CP Women's Open at Magna Golf Club in Aurora, Ontario. And Brooke Henderson, who has carried the flag for this proud golfing nation, is trying to win the CP Women's Open for the second straight year. About 3 hours to the west of her hometown, Smiths Falls, Ontario. She's playing in the final group with world number one Jinyoung Ko and Denmark's Nicole Brock Larsen, trying to give her nation its first ever LPGA Tour win. And Judy Rankin, what a way to begin.
Not what she expected, but what a great start.
Tied with Jinyoung Ko when the day started. She took the lead there with that birdie at the first. Jinyoung Ko 5 pars in a row, and then at 6, she ties Brock Larsen. Jinyoung Ko, world number one, hasn't made a bogey all week. Brooke Henderson, 6 straight pars, and then this. Second shot to the par 5 7th. It would lead to a birdie. And Henderson, who got off to the rough start Saturday, then turned it on and then some to light up Magna Golf Club, would get to within 2. This is where we stand. Jinyoung Ko and Nicole Brock Larsen, as they were when the day started, tied for the lead. Henderson 2 back. Look at the move being made by Lizette Salas in her first event since the AIG Women's British Open, where she lost by 1 to Hinako Shibuno. There's Amy Olsen at the bottom of your screen, tied for 8. She needs a big day today to have a chance to move in to a Solheim Cup spot for Team USA. Judy and I are joined by Tom Abbott, and on the course, Jerry Foltz and Canadian Golf Hall of Fame member Gail Graham. We'll take you to the 8th. Jerry Foltz watching Brooke Henderson. This is for birdie.
Just off the fringe, beautifully manicured greens. Every putt has just rolled so smoothly.
This is where the run began yesterday for Brooke. A birdie here. She played the last 11 holes in 9 under par. Here is Olsen at the 9th, Tom.
Yeah, one of the Solheim Cup hopefuls. Birdie putt here on the par 5. Amy is even par so far today. 2 bogeys, 2 birdies.
Back at the 8th, and here is Jinyoung Ko to take the lead.
Not a lot of slope on this 8th green, and that went straight in the heart.
Jinyoung Ko, 3 wins this year, 2 of them major championships, and she has taken the lead over Nicole Brock Larsen. This is a par putt for Nicole Brock Larsen, who really fought back yesterday in the middle of the 3rd round. Oh, wow. Fist pumping her way around Magna yesterday, and there's one huge par save. The 26-year-old from Hillerød, Denmark, stays 1 back, but Ko has moved in front. 2-11.
Angel Yin for a birdie. Angel part of that Solheim Cup conversation as well. She's in a better position than Amy Olsen. Angel looking good for getting into the team through the world rankings.
Maybe 3 feet at the most for par for Brooke Henderson at 8. She will head to the 9th, 3 shots behind Jinyoung Ko. She shot 65 in the final round in Saskatchewan last August to become just the 3rd ever Canadian to win on home soil in a major event, the LPGA Tour or PGA Tour. So Ko has taken the lead by 1. Lizette Salas has given herself at least a chance with 9 holes to play, and there is some Solheim Cup drama today as well, as we hand out one of the most prestigious trophies in all of golf. Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Aurora, Ontario, it's final round coverage of the CP Women's Open. This great championship, which goes back to 1973, is in the Greater Toronto area for the first time since 2001, and it's here in the midst of a horse farm that has produced so many great champions in that sport. And this event has produced one superstar winner after another. Could Brooks Brigade lift Canada's favorite golfing daughter to another victory, as she had last year in Saskatchewan at Wascata? She turned a one-shot Sunday lead into a huge victory, which she said is the highlight of her career. There she goes with sister Brittany, always by her side. She's got the entire nation pulling for her today. Jinyoung, world number one, won her first event as an official member of the LPGA Tour. That was back in 2018. Went on to win Rookie of the Year. Now she's running away with Player of the Year, looking for a fourth victory this season. So much to play for, not just at the top of the leaderboard, but on down with players like Amy Olsen and Angel Yin. To the ninth we go.
Par 5. Players will aim just on that right bunker, the left edge of the bunker on the right side of the fairway that you can just see above her head there. Jerry is with us now on that ninth tee.
Hardly a breath of wind. It just sometimes comes to about a club and then dies right back down. Maybe an outside of reaching it for Nicole Brock-Larson and Brooke Henderson. But I think both of them know they need to make birdies because Jinyoung is not going to come back to them. Bogey free is just amazing at this point in the tournament.
With a victory, you see what this would mean to each of these three players in the final group. Jinyoung Ko could become the first player with 4 wins in a single season since 2016, when both Aria and Lydia did it. Nicole Brock-Larson trying to become the first Dane on either the LPGA Tour or PGA Tour to win. And Brooke Henderson trying to successfully defend the CP Women's Open, just like Lydia Ko did in 2012 and 13. And Pat Bradley.
Here is Brooke.
Everybody seemed to like it, and why not?
The shape of it was absolutely perfect for this ninth hole.
Henderson 3 shots back. And she's played a lot better on the back nine so far this week than the front nine. She's 12 under for the back, 5 under for the front. Now Nicole Brock-Larson.
It's about this point in the round yesterday where she had a couple of errant tee shots, left and right. Seemed to get it ironed out toward the end of the round. But still playing today with that same energy, that same focus, passion, I guess you would call it. Beautiful and not short.
Yeah, didn't get as much roll as she may have liked. Sort of driving into a bit of an upslope there, where that hole plays from the tee up to the fairway. Jinyoung Ko leads by 1 here, the final round in Aurora, Ontario.
On the right side.
All three in the final group are in the fairway at the par 5 ninth. Let's meet them in their own words.
Hi, I'm Brooke Henderson from Canada, and I won my first major championship when I was 18.
Hi, I'm Nicole Brock-Larsen from Hillerød, Denmark. Fun fact about me that you might not know is that my cousin also went to the Olympics in 2016 playing badminton.
Hi, I'm Jinyoung Ko. I'm from Seoul, South Korea. I have one dog. Name is Awesome.
Well, if you've got a dog named Awesome, Jerry, you got to play like that.
That's so fitting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She has been playing awesomely all year long. This week's been an incredible display as well. You can't get there, but there's no real trouble in trying to get it as close as you can. 260 to the front, although this is headed right, but there are a lot of people over there to stop it.
Did they stop it? They're looking as though maybe they did. I think she could be in some big trouble there.
Yeah, thick vegetation.
Well, they're still trying to find it in there. So big trouble for the leader here. An opportunity maybe for Henderson and Brock Larson. And Brooke will be next to play.
And driver off the deck, 258 to the front. We'll see what breeze there is straight in.
If she catches it solid, she can do this.
Yes. I do not know how you catch a big-headed driver solid. That's left. Be lucky to catch the bunker.
In the rough and kind of sitting up.
Got away with it, I think.
Hitting a draw off the deck with a big-headed driver is nearly impossible.
Yeah, she's really been quite fortunate there. Now, Brock Larson.
251 to the front, perhaps.
Perhaps she could do it, or perhaps it's 251 to the front.
It's reliable. Dennis Samborski providing you those numbers, and they're accurate. And she hit it too, but it's just at the right edge. Needs a big bounce to get there.
Yeah, it's going to be too soft. Not bad though. The best of the three. And we will see what Jinyoung Ko will face with her third shot. Could be some trouble coming up. Let's go to 10.
And as we said, it's the first event for Lizette Salas since the heartbreak at Woburn at the AIG Women's British Open. But looks like the heart has mended, Judy. And she's back at it. She's 17 under now.
Well, the game's the same, and the heart has mended, as you said.
All right, so she is already on the U.S. Solheim Cup team, having qualified on points. But let's take a look at the last spot up for grabs. If it ends exactly as it is currently, Brittany Altamari would sew up that 8th and final spot in points. That would leave 2 left to pick off the world rankings list, and then 2 captain's picks for Julie Inkster, which she will do tomorrow morning on Morning Drive. And that world ranking race is down to the 100th of a point. Welcome to Magna Golf Club and Sunday at the CP Women's Open, one of the biggest days on the Canadian sporting calendar. And Judy, one of the most prestigious titles in all of women's golf. You won it, so you know firsthand, back in 1977. And what a grouping we have in this final tee time. Storylines that are quite different from one another, beginning with Jinyoung Ko, world number 1.
Yeah, so this is a national championship in Canada, and so players from all around the world know that this is a national championship they would love to have on their resume. Number 1 in that last threesome, Jinyoung Ko. She is the number 1 player in the world. She has had a magnificent year. She has already won 3 times this year. But what she really is she's so ridiculously consistent. Consider this fact. She came to the LPGA last year in 2018. Through last year and through this year, 1 time she has missed a cut. That's consistency, and that's exactly what you need in professional golf. Most of all, though, you need those wins, and she does that on a regular basis.
It's why this shot was so surprising. She just doesn't hit shots offline very often. But this is her 2nd shot that they're looking for at the 9th hole. She has not made a bogey the entire week, and she leads by 1.
A lot of people saw it go in here also. This is
They thought they had it down, but it wasn't the right ball. It was the same number and everything. But either way, it's more than likely going to be unplayable, Judy.
You see her off the fairway this far maybe 3 times a year.
We're going to need some space back here, guys.
If that's it, then you get 2 club lengths and you add a stroke, right?
Well, she would have some options with an unplayable lie.
Yeah, it's in brown. It's not a hazard. No, no.
And we're going to have to back up. Everybody back up. Give us 10 feet.
All right, the point has been made. It is not a penalty area with that
From here. Okay.
club out to measure. She's looking at unplayable, correct, Jerry?
Yeah, that's exactly what she's doing. There wouldn't be, even if she had a way to get a club on it, there's no backswing. So 2 club lengths is just going to get her to the rough, just outside of that heavy vegetation. And then she'll end up taking relief from the cart path as well. This might be a few minutes.
Yeah, it's only just going to get her out of that long stuff.
So she'll have a fourth shot rather at this par 5, and in 2 at the penalty stroke for the unplayable lie.
Interesting, though, she actually could still make par.
Good. Ballpark yardage from there, Jerry?
Oh, 50.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really not going to be a hard shot either.
Nothing in her way from there.
No.
She's right on the cusp there of not getting relief from the cart path.
It wouldn't really matter because she'd have to basically drop it in the same position, in the same area within a few inches of where she's going to drop this. She couldn't get to the other side of the cart path with relief.
Here comes roll. 10 feet. Jeremy.
A moment to collect herself after a rare wayward shot.
I'm fine. I did already.
Meanwhile, Brooke has a third upcoming. She's making sure she's ready when called upon.
Okay, and you went 2 club lengths? Okay, perfect. Is this, did you mark in here?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's one there?
And then one more there.
Okay, perfect. And you haven't dropped yet, have you?
Yeah, done it.
Okay, perfect. So you'll have, we've got to drop within this kind of our club length here, okay?
Brooke is going to play.
It came out of that longish stuff and didn't have any check on it.
That will be for birdie.
Awesome. You're welcome.
Hasn't needed rules officials very much in her LPGA career, has she?
Yeah. Okay, folks, put your cameras down. No
Right
movement,
side.
please.
Little left. Right side better.
Left.
Left to right, right?
Yeah. Down the bottom. Left to right.
15 shot.
All right, the first bounce when this lands is likely going to go left, and then David said after it gets over the hill, go back to the right. It would be one heck of a par.
Yeah, it's a huge boost to the momentum if she can get this up and down.
It's a pretty decent line. It's not gonna act strange out here if she just catches it cleanly. Which she did.
Oh, look at this from the world #1. That could be the get out of jail free card there, that shot. And now Brock Larson.
Right at a 40-yard shot. Just got to play the one hop and get it to start to check. It's not going to one hop and stop by any means.
It's kind of an important shot, Jerry. You know, you see Jinyoung Ko make a mistake, and you know, as a competitor, I would think you're feeling right. I've got to take advantage of this. I've got to try and get a shot back.
And now it's all back in your court.
Yeah.
Clipped very nicely.
It's pretty good. I was talking to Nicole yesterday, and she said Jinyoung Ko just doesn't make mistakes. She's so solid. You know, Rare mistake there from Jinyoung Ko. Will she save par? Back on the 9th, Brooke Henderson, this for birdie.
Little downhill, thousands of people. You can hear a pin drop at the moment, just waiting to erupt, Tom.
Are they going to? Yes, they are. Well, it was right about now, yesterday, that Brooke Henderson really started to turn things around. Put together that back nine of 29 shots. I would look for her to really mount a challenge on this back nine again today. Sister Brittany. And now a par putt for Ko.
Well, she's made every one she's had through 53 holes, 70, whatever it is. You know what I mean. And another.
63 holes.
There you go.
And no drop shots. That is a great par, considering where she was in 2. In the undergrowth, the vegetation, unplayable lie, saves par. And now Nicole Brock-Larsen, with a chance to tie the lead, is thinking to herself, I've got to take advantage of this. I'm not going to get too many opportunities.
Completely agree with you. All smiles walking down the fairway. Looks to be very well composed. Maybe a little less internal stress than I was sensing yesterday.
She talked about being nervous yesterday when the day started, and that it really helped her to get out on the golf course. But she said as she was finishing practicing and getting near the first tee, her heart started to pound.
Well, anybody who says it doesn't is probably lying.
Oh, just wandered in.
Snuck in.
Still, it's a 4. A few murmurs from the gallery. There's no doubt that these players, when they started the day talking about Nicole Brock-Larsen and Jinyoung Ko, they knew the crowd wouldn't be on their side. It's not really a surprise. A lot of support for Brooke Henderson, of course. Let's go to 12.
And the par 5, Angel Yen for birdie. She's going to get one of those 2 Solheim Cup spots off the world rankings list. Who will the other one be? Could it be Amy Olsen? The final group making the turn. Here's Brooke Henderson, 2 shots back.
Light breeze and off the tee, bunkers both sides of the fairway, but it's a wide fairway.
Watch that, Britt.
This one's heading a little left, 245 to carry that one into the breeze.
Oh, it carried it, but came back in. That was a moment ago.
Looks like it sits pretty well.
And now live sitting pretty well on the leaderboard, co-leader Brock-Larsen.
Good ball.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
Oh, it started perfect, Jerry.
Yeah, yesterday she found the right fairway bunker here. That is big, Judy.
Yeah, the 3 of them can all really drive the ball, but Nicole, statistically speaking, should be just a fraction longer.
Jinyoung Ko and Dave Brooker have talked about her added length and what that's meant to her game. She was already great. Now she is approaching the sublime.
Yeah, she says this year she has found a few more yards versus last year, and I guess the biggest thing I know about that is anytime a good player finds 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 more yards, huge confidence builder.
Doesn't hurt that you hit it on the center of the club face every single time. That got a lot of chase on it as well.
Right down the pipe. Right down the Canadian Pacific Railroad. At the 18th, another Ko is finishing up, the 3-time CP Women's Open champion, Lydia Ko. Each week you make the cut and make a bunch of birdies. It's a step forward, isn't it, for Lydia? She tries to regain that form.
Yeah, you know, she came to professional golf with great form. She was kind of on autopilot most of the time, completely natural player. And then thoughts got into her game, and now she's trying to recover from that.
11.
Does that Salas to save par?
Clutch putt, considering she's 6 under for her first 10 holes.
Oh, she's playing well at the moment. 65, yeah, in the final round at Woburn, Gale. And narrowly missed out on getting into a playoff. Now here in Aurora, Lizette Salas inside the top 5.
Tenth hole, our final group. Jinyoung Ko and Nicole Brock-Larson tied. There's Brooke Henderson just 2 back as they play the 10th. Record-breaking ticket sales, Jerry, and you've met a lot of them out there this week.
And every one of them's nice. Enthusiastic golf fans, and this is their, what you guys call her, national princess, is Brooke Henderson. In a spot of bother here, though. 160 to the hole. Into the wind, a little bit of an uphill lie, but not a perfect lie in the bunker, and there's no margin for error to catch this cleanly, clear the lip, and get it all the way to the green.
And a good look at that left hole location. Anywhere on the green a good shot, Jerry?
Oh, yes. Yeah, she'll be aiming this at least as far right as the camera tower. And there's just a lot of anxiety in how you make contact on this shot. Tendency is to hit it a little heavy to protect hitting it into that lip. There's just a little ridge of sand behind it to really keep this from being a much more routine shot. Oh, got it very, very nicely. Ridiculously aggressive line.
Wow. The winningest professional golfer from Canada, PGA Tour or LPGA Tour, and she just hit a beauty. 9 wins, looking for a 10th. Jinyoung Ko is next.
143 for Jinyoung. It's a good club wind right now, dead into him. This is 7-iron. This too on an extremely well right at it.
She escaped with par on the 9th after hitting her second shot into the vegetation right of the cart path. Took an unplayable lie and got it up and down for a 5 to stay tied with Nicole Brock-Larson, who's just seen 2 terrific shots from her fellow competitors.
I got up here and looked at these shots and looked up at the green and thought every one of these players is going to be 15, 20 feet right of the hole. Not the case. See what Nicole does from 1 to 31. No more than a 9-iron. And this is going to pay the price for being aggressive. The left of the green, it's going to bounce left. And that's going to be a tough bunker shot.
Made bogey here yesterday and then fought back, playing alongside world number 1 Jinyoung Ko. Now she's got Henderson joining her in this final round, final grouping. Take a look at where we've been recently and where we are. The CP Women's Open has been committed to go east and west. Ottawa a couple of years ago, Saskatchewan last year where Brooke won, and here at Magna Golf Club in Aurora, Ontario. And it is our pleasure to welcome to the booth the president and CEO of CP, Keith Creel. Great to see you, Keith. Thanks for all you've done for women's golf.
It's our honor to be here today.
We have been watching at the 17th hole this week. $5,000 for every birdie that's made there goes to your charitable organization. Tell us about CP Has Heart.
Well, CP Has Heart is our opportunity to show the commitment that we have to the communities that we operate in and through across Canada. You know, the mission of CP Has Heart is to work toward a goal of improving heart health across North America. And at the same time, in the communities we operate through, specifically in Toronto this year, to partner with sick kids. The money that we've raised will go to the renovation of a cardiac surgery suite, which we're extremely proud about.
This is the 6th year that your group, CP, has sponsored this venerable championship on the LPGA Tour. Tell us about those 6 years and what it's meant to you.
You know what, the 6 years has gone by fast, but this event, it's such a special event in Canada. It offers us a very unique opportunity to connect with our employees, to connect with our customers, and again, to connect to the communities. And all three of those are integral to our sustained success in this company. So that's a very unique opportunity. The second thing, giving back. It's part of our DNA at CP. We believe as leaders, we believe as a railroad, we should leave it better than what we found it. So through this tournament over the 6 years with this morning's presentation, we've raised over $10.5 million to contribute to heart health for children, which is something we're extremely proud and blessed to be a part of.
There's Lori Kane alongside $2.2 million. Amazing. Keith, thanks so much.
It's our honor. Thank you.
Keith Creel, President, CEO of CP, and what a championship he and his group are putting on here. This is Brock Larson, third shot, par 4 10th.
A bit of an uphill lie into the wind gives her a fighting chance, but she has to fly it at least 8 or 10 feet short of the hole or it comes back down off the green. Right now she has to take a big number out of play. Most likely hit this past the hole. Oops.
Oh, nice.
Look at this. And that was adventurous. She's still going to be away. I believe that'll be for par. Well, this had a little bit of everything. Took her time with it, as you could tell. I think Jerry called it. She didn't want to risk being short and have it come back down to her. Let's get ahead to 13 quickly.
And Megan Kang on the short par 3 to get it to 11 under. Megan's had a bit of a mixed day today. 3 bogeys. That's her third birdie of the day. So level par for this final round. Tied for 17th at the moment. Playing alongside Caroline Masson. She may well face Carol Masson in the Solheim Cup in a few weeks. Now Olsen for birdie at the 11th.
Just a little turn to the right.
Amy Olsen needs a big back 9. If she were to do something special on this back 9, it could mean a place in the Solheim Cup through the Rolex World Rankings. These are the current standings. You can see Amy currently 50th. And of course on Monday the rankings will be updated. If it were to end right now, Amy would not have enough to climb up and qualify for the Solheim Cup. But that could change, of course, as the afternoon goes on. Annie Park will move ahead of Austin Ernst. Austin missing the cut. The difference between the two of them, you see 2.23, 2.22. So tiny difference between Ernst and Park. And that means that Annie will move ahead. It's very complicated to confirm those world rankings.
But now there's going to be a tiny difference between Park and Olsen. So yeah. It's a hard-fought battle over 2 seasons.
And what will the difference be when they leave this 10th hole for our final group? This is a par putt for Brock Larson. Birdie putts coming for Henderson and Jinyoung Ko.
And this is uphill all the way till basically it reaches the apex of the right-to-left break, about 8 feet from the hole. Then as it's turning left, believe it or not, starts working back downhill. Really tried getting cute with that bunker shot and spinning it, led to the bladed shot. That was defensive and not ill-advised at that.
She just got a little greedy with the second shot. The one place she did not need to miss was left, the short side.
Before these birdie putts for Henderson and Jinyoung Ko, our course setup brought to you by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. We have really enjoyed our first visit to Magna Golf Club.
Boy, and many thanks to Wayne Rath and all of his staff, along with Mike McMahon, the professional. This golf course has been presented absolutely beautifully to the players. It's played just under that 6,700 yards with the par 5 at 14 moved up today. But absolutely great conditions all week. And thank you, Mother Nature, the weather also.
Henderson for birdie.
That was one of the slowest putts you're going to have on the entire course right there.
So Brock Larson has that putt coming up for bogey. Henderson has a short putt for par, and Jinyoung Ko in a moment will have a putt for birdie and a 2-shot lead. Gail Graham is watching Lizette Salas.
From 97 yards. She got a bit of a backstop behind her, but didn't use it. But it's a good one straight up the hill for birdie.
Third shot at the par 5, so she'll have that for birdie. Salas is 6 under. That could get her into a share of third. And here is Jinyoung Ko for a 2-shot lead.
And rare is rare is the occasion when you have 3 players putting from 3 different angles and all of them have uphill putts. This hole today placed just devilishly on top of a little knoll. This one uphill, just a little hint of break to the right from my read.
Her lead is at least 2, and a testament to her greatness. She and her caddy, Dave Brooker, barely saw the golf course, and she's up by 2. She only played 9 holes leading up, and Dave Brooker didn't get in until Wednesday night. This was a late add to her schedule.
Dave walked the course Thursday morning in the morning wave, but that was the only time he had seen it. The yardage books are good, and his player is great. I think that explains it.
Brock Larson trails Jinyoung Ko now by, she's going to trail by at least 2. This is a putt for bogey for Brock Larson. Ko escaped at 9. Brock Larson trying to get in here at 10.
Not much to it. Just a little tiny bit of break left, perhaps.
She has looked so good with those 4- and 5-foot putts this week. And that's a big reason she finds herself in this position.
But a 2-shot swing. Ko birdie, Brock Larson bogey. Brooke with about 3 feet for par to stay at 18 under.
You know, speaking of Dave Brooker walking the course, I don't know if folks at home would realize how many caddies actually do 36 holes every day, will actually go walk the golf course when time permits before their player ever gets to the golf course.
He's doing pretty well financially this year. I think I'd give it a shot, Jude.
You can make those 36, Jerry?
Oh, yeah.
Par for Henderson, but a 2-shot swing has put world number 1 Jinyoung Ko in front by 2. For a 7th birdie today, Lizette Salas at 12.
And uphill about 12 feet. Little left to right. Skips it in the edge.
That putter hadn't been in her bag a long time, but it has worked, hasn't it?
It has, Judy. She's got a nice pattern of birdies going 2 in a row, 1 par, 2 in a row, 1 par.
What does that tell you? Look out at 13. We go to 11.
Yeah, Brock Larson last to play here.
The other 2 in very good shape. Brooke with a real big one down the middle, and Jinyoung Ko right center of the fairway. Playing a little down breeze. It starts off a little right, actually well right.
Into the trees. That could be big trouble.
That could be provisional. Matter of fact, it is a provisional coming out already.
Maybe that bunker shot has rattled her. I mean, that could have been a disaster, that to thin out of the bunker. She was very fortunate that it came all the way back to flag high.
So the provisional would be in the event of a lost ball.
Pretty sure we're going to be able to find it, but it's not going to be good. This one's a little left.
Just going to find the fairway. So Nicole Brock Larson coming off that bogey at 10, in big trouble off the tee at 11, and she's already slipped 2 behind. So not good news for the Dane. Let's go to 18.
All right, great news for Brittany Altomare and her fans and family. She is going to make the U.S. Solheim Cup team because she's got this for birdie at 18. She's tied for 8th at the moment. Came into the week 8th on the points list, the only one in the top 8 who hadn't already locked up a spot. But that will lock it up, signed, sealed, and delivered. And Brittany Altamari hasn't missed a cut, Judy, all year. She's going to make her first Solheim Cup team. Congratulations.
Yeah, it has not. It hasn't produced a win yet for Brittany Altamari, but boy, she has been consistent this year, and she totally caught the attention of Julie Inkster, who has been watching her closely all year. Said she'd made more birdies than anybody else vying for the team.
Here's her probable teammate, Angel Yin. Second shot at the par 5 14th, which today, Judy, is under 500 yards.
She is trying to get in on the world rankings, which she looks pretty good for. What a shot right there. So that's a putt for eagle.
How about that? Angel Yin, the big hitter from Southern California. And a putt for eagle, and Jinyoung Ko up 2.
That is the ball of Nicole Brock-Larsen on the 11th. So they found it. And Jerry, it's just going to be a hack back to the fairway, isn't it?
It's not a given either, but it's going to be a lob wedge over the trees to the fairway. But in the meantime, Jinyoung's going to go ahead and play with a wedge from 137 downwind.
Ideal spot to leave this one below the hole, Jerry?
It's
Shorter.
really not a treacherous green here, and she is incredibly good with the downhill putts. This club, I don't think, gets too far past it, though. She doesn't like it, pulled it a little.
It's a good bad one. On the tee at the 13th, Lizette Salas.
And this hole playing into the wind today. Tees up, 122. That's a 9-iron on a superb line.
Lovely.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah, tap in birdie will get her to 8 under for the day.
Well, here's another Solheim Cup stalwart for the U.S. Lexi Thompson quietly having a solid week after a rather tumultuous trip overseas. Things happening off the course.
She might be putting better going into these Solheim Cup matches than she ever has in the past.
Back to 11.
And the troubles for Brock-Larsen.
Yeah, there's some huge trees to get over. It can be done, but the problem is this little sapling tree behind her is going to maybe impede her backswing a bit. And if she doesn't get it all the way over the trees, it's, well, it could be the end of the day. Or at least their hopes.
Is this the easiest route out, Jerry?
There is no real route out. The easiest route out is to play it over to the 10th fairway, or the rough on the 10th hole.
We're going to hit anything, I'm going to hit that one.
You go again.
Well, she got it out. Not quite to the fairway, but, or maybe it is.
Well, it's a pretty good result, I think. He didn't look particularly confident over that ball, especially with the little tree behind her, as Jerry mentioned. But she might get away with a 4. Now Brooke.
Just 121 yards for Brooke. The ball is slightly below her feet. But as I've mentioned in previous weeks and previous rounds this week, this is a part of her game that she has really cleaned up, as they say. That needs to sit down.
Certainly advantage Jinyoung Ko once again. And we'll go to the 14th.
We saw that terrific second shot on this par 5 from Angel Yin. This for eagle. Made the Solheim Cup as an 18-year-old, a captain's pick from Julie Inkster. Will Amy Olsen make the U.S. Solheim Cup team? This is at the 12th for birdie to go to 14 under. Yes. She's got a chance. She's tied for 6th now, Judy.
I tell you, she certainly has tried to show the captain and the assistant captains. Those would be Pat Hurst, Wendy Ward, and Nancy Lopez. Tried to show them something.
She has indeed. 11.
Brock Larson's 3rd.
93 yards and staring at another potential 2-shot swing. 2 holes in a row right here. Needs to figure out a way to get this close.
Yeah, she has figured out a way. A safe par here. That will calm her down a little bit after a wild tee shot at the 11th. But Jinyoung Ko does have a putt for birdie upcoming. Back on the 11th, where Brooke Henderson's trying to slot this home for birdie.
Turning just a little left for Brooke. Pretty flat speed-wise.
Not going to go in with that pace. Can't afford to let Jinyoung Ko get too far ahead. Ko has a putt here to go 4 ahead of Henderson. And Brooke is going to be needing some magic once again, like she provided yesterday. Go to 14.
Here's the 2016 CP Women's Open champion, Arya Jatanagarn for Eagle. She made one yesterday. And a testament to her prodigious talent. She's a bit out of sorts this year, hasn't won, and yet here she is 14 under par, tied for 6th. Back to 11.
And a chance for Jinyoung Ko to really put some space between herself and the chasing pack.
And you wouldn't expect anything less. The way she's been playing, the way she's been putting. Not much to this one at all. Could just maybe be left center.
Mentioned yesterday about the fact she only played 9 holes in practice. Talked to her yesterday after the round, and she said that when she came out here in round 1, she didn't even know the pars of some of the holes, and she was saying to Dave, is this a par 4 or par 5? I mean, she really didn't know about this golf course, but sometimes that can help you. Yeah, didn't expect anything less. Four under for the day, so steady. It's been the case all week long. No bogeys. There have been a couple of mistakes, but she's scrambled well. And Jinyoung Ko now has a 3-shot lead. And Nicole Brock Larson has a putt here to stay within 3.
Certainly outside the comfort range here.
And the only good news for the chasers is there are still 2 par 5s on the golf course.
Yeah, good 4 in the end. The pars are not going to get it done. She needs to be putting for birdie. A couple of holes where she's struggled.
Nicole's best finish of the year is a tie for 10th, so hanging in there, if she can't win this tournament, to finish, as well as she possibly can, really important to her.
Brooke, not taking this for granted at all, and why would you? It's outside of 3 feet, but the good news, although she probably doesn't even know it, every single hole on this back 9 through 3 rounds, she's at least once made birdie or better on it. So she can put something together. We saw it yesterday, a bunch of them.
She made 5 birdies and an eagle yesterday on the back 9. Made par here though. This for par today. Scamper over to the 12th tee. We're going to take a quick break here in the final round of the CP Women's Open, where Jinyoung Ko leads by 3.
Now leading it by 3, Jinyoung Ko on the tee at the par 5 12th.
Into the breeze almost directly, and it's a pretty decent breeze lining it up at that first fairway bunker on the left. That is exactly where she hit it. Should carry it.
To go back 4 years to find the last time a player went bogey-free for 72 holes. Jinyoung Ko is bogey-free through 65. Brooke Henderson.
It's that one in the clouds. It looked like a more aggressive line.
Really went after that ball. Oh my gosh.
No, she needs eagle, doesn't she? You would think. Made one here yesterday.
Every now and then she just has that shoulder turns a little bit bigger. The club gets a little more drop below parallel, and she then lets it rip.
So impressive the way Nicole Brock-Larson fought back yesterday playing alongside world number 1, and the way she's hanging in today, having never won on the LPGA Tour. Par saves at 11 each of the last 2 days.
She has a beautiful posture standing up to the ball. It's nice posture, but it's really relaxed looking.
That one came off very high, and she didn't like it instantly.
Well, I think what that high right shot did for her is gave her no chance to get home in 2.
Lizette Salas making a huge Sunday move and a second shot here on the par 5 14th, Gale.
And this is ripe for the taking. She's got 194 to the hole, 174 to the front of the green. This is a 5 hybrid. Wind's coming off her left a little bit. It's wide open. She's been spot on with her accuracy.
Go. Go.
Needs a little help. You can hear it urging it on.
Yeah, maybe not completely flush, but for the most part, got away with it.
8 under par today and a putt for eagle here at 14. Let's take a look at this par 5 14th. It is our Aon Risk Reward Challenge hole.
And it's been a fun hole all week. It is the par 5. The tee moved up a little bit today to 498 yards. The bunkers on the left have been in play all week, not so much today. If you're going to play safe, you play out to the right. If you're going to try to get the ball on the green in 2, you have to hit the ball closer to the left side and try to get it to the bottom of the hill. If you cannot go at the green, the yellow is where you would lay up, but if you can go at the green, you have bunkering right and left, but it is open in the front, and we have seen a lot of really good long second shots here this week, and any number of eagles.
Take a look at the race for the Aon Risk Reward Challenge. $1 million at stake. Here's what's interesting. Leanne Pace of South Africa withdrew this week. She's been battling a back injury for months. She still needs 5 more rounds to qualify. And as of now, she only has 4 more events that are full field that she could play. So that race has a little different element to it. 15.
Angel Yin for birdie. She's put on a bit of a display here on the back 9. Birdie at 11, a birdie at 12, birdie at 14, birdie at 15.
Angel Yin was the runner-up last year. What a great week, as it always is. Our tournament director, Ryan Paul. Stuart Brindle, general manager of Magna Golf Club, which is hosting this event for the very first time. And we heard from Keith Creel, the CEO and president of CP, about Birdies for Heart. Sick Kids Foundation chosen as the primary charity partner. $2.2 million given earlier today. And this is especially meaningful for Ryan Paul because his little son Blake had to go to the hospital for sick children, or sick kids as it's known. And we are so thrilled to report that little Blake is doing great after that scare for mom and dad. How about the hairdo, Judy? He's looking good. He's styling here.
He's got the cool hair. He's got the clear eyes. He is a beautiful child.
And what great work Sick Kids does. At the 12th, Nicole Brock-Larson, second shot at the par 5.
Just a layup. This group is going to play much quicker for a while because they've just been warned to get back into position or get put on the clock.
They had 2 lengthy waits. The second shot from Jinyoung Ko at 9 required a ruling, and then Nicole Brock-Larson had to find her wayward tee shot at 11. Imagine if Jinyoung Ko and Dave Brooker had actually gotten an even better look at this golf course. They're already up 3 and they barely saw it.
You might have seen some things you didn't want to see. This way, you're only looking where you want to go.
Fascinating, Jerry, too, what you just reported earlier, that she didn't even know what par was on some of the holes. That may not be a terrible way to play. Just hit the shot that's in front of you.
Just a 5-wood layup for Jinyoung.
You know, if you're going to be one of those one shot at a time kind of players, you make an excellent point.
This is a big miss for her. In the left edge of the fairway with a perfect angle.
Her lead is 3. Carlota Saganda trying to make one last push. Get as high a finish as possible. Gale, second shot.
And this from 180. It's on a brilliant line. Just needs a little bit of a hop.
What do you think?
Wow. 16 eagles here so far this week.
You saw she's contending for that $1 million prize, the Aon Risk Reward Challenge. That for Eagle. For Saganda, who's tied for 6th. Brooke Henderson, Lexi Thompson, and the rest of the LPGA head west to the City of Roses. Coverage of the Cambia Portland Classic begins Thursday on Golf Channel, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Another of one of the great old events on the LPGA Tour.
Yeah, love Columbia, Edgewater, love everything about the Portland tournament.
Brooke Henderson loves it as well. Here's her second at 12.
213 front is the number uphill into the breeze. I don't think she caught that.
Brooke's first 2 wins were there. Or her first win was there in 2015 and then backed it up in 2016. Third shot's coming to the par 5 for our final group. It's Jinyoung Ko, world number 1, up 3. Third shot at the par 5 12th for leader Jinyoung Ko.
56 yards uphill lie into the breeze. Should be able to still generate plenty of spin even from this distance. Don't need it.
Yet another good look for birdie coming up. Eagle putt at 14 for Lizette Salas.
This from 35 feet. Has a little bit of a wiggle to the left.
She has made 8 birdies in bunches of 2. Third shot at the par 5 12 for Henderson.
2 yards closer, 54 yards. Same lie, same wind. Stuck that one in the ground just a little bit.
And it may take something special like she did yesterday if she's going to have a chance to catch the best player in women's golf, Jinyoung Ko. She'll have a chance to make birdie first before Ko. Get you ahead to the 16th, beginning of that closing stretch they call the Horseshoe here at Magna Golf Club. Angel Yen.
Hole right in the middle of the green. You have got to stick this one close. Good shot.
Looking for her 5th birdie in her last 6 holes. The Korn Ferry Tour is at the Albertsons Boise Open, and the final round comes your way today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Golf Channel. Careers are going to change. Guys are going to punch their ticket to the PGA Tour. Should be great. Steve Burkowski, Craig Perks will lead our coverage there. There is Lizette Salas with Ko having a birdie putt at 12 in a moment. This is Salas for birdie to get to 20 under, Gale.
And this length of putt really requires some attention. It's not just a tap in. And in Lizette's case right now, it means a lot. So she's taken a long time to look at this. It moves just very slightly to her right, but will be inside the hole as it starts.
Birdies at 3 and 4, 6 and 7, 9 and 10, 12 and 13.
No, she's totally thrown off her pattern, Greg.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row.
I think she'd be okay with it.
She may need a birdie in. 4 holes left, 2 shots back. 9 under. If she birdies in, she'll have a 59. Back at 12.
Get the pace on it. It's very fast.
Pretty slick downhill birdie effort here for Brooke. More significant of a slope early, a little more subtle late, but still very fast and pretty straight. Not that fast.
She's left a handful short today.
When you're that tentative, I don't know, you either don't have confidence in the read or you really don't have a feel for the putt, one or another, but that's not just short, that's a really tentative putt.
Amy Olsen, in this penultimate grouping of the day, is fighting for a spot on the U.S. Solheim Cup team. She's currently tied for 7th. That eagle from Saganda to move in front of her could impact her final standing. She's posing. This is going to get really good. Wow.
Worthy of a pose.
Could that be the shot when it's all said and done? That puts her over the top. Annie Park is the player with whom she's jockeying for that 2nd world rankings spot. Brock Larson for birdie at 12.
At this point, almost feels like a must-make the way Jinyoung Ko is playing.
Let's go to 15.
There's that Salas on the tee.
Right down the center of the fairway. She's got beautiful tempo.
Yeah, and she is such an accurate driver. Wouldn't you love her in alternate shot golf?
Absolutely.
Lizette Salas is 9 under par for the day here with 4 holes to go.
All right, our leader, Jinyoung Ko, with a chance to push her lead back to 3.
I mean, she gets a lot of chances like this, but there's just not much to it. One that, once again, you expect her to make in any circumstance. Even with the lead late on Sunday, turning a little bit left, and not a ton.
Get it set up outside the hole.
Well, that snaps twice as much as Nicole Brock Larson's putt from the opposite side of the hole.
So an opportunity missed for Jinyoung Ko. Her lead is 2, but Lizette Salas with a 3rd straight birdie, her 9th of the day, is within 2.
Final round of the CP Women's Open. Jinyoung Ko leads by 2. Lizette Salas is charging. Jinyoung Ko on the tee at the short 13th.
I don't think Jinyoung or her caddy David Brooker know that Lizette's within 2, but there is a scoreboard at this green that I'm sure David will check out. Little breeze in from the left, actually more than a little breeze. So she's going with 9 iron. Just a little left of the hole.
It's going to be just fine. Par 3s have been a bit tricky on this back 9 over the week. More difficult than you would expect when you look at the yardage.
I like that.
And we will go to the 15th and check in with Lizette Salas, who's in good position off the tee.
Great position.
Broad on the right? Okay.
She's going to look to be a little bit right of this flag. Her left foot is a little lower than her right, which would cause you to think the ball might spin a little to the left when she sets it up there on the green. Getting a little help from the wind.
Yeah, this flagstick's only 9 feet from the left edge of the green.
Yeah, Judy, it barely looks like it's on the green.
I bet.
It's quite elevated, so the players cannot see the surface.
More. Go.
It's going to be just fine right there. And give her a chance for another birdie to get it to 10 under for the day.
Angel Yin at 16 for birdie.
Brooke Henderson's tee shot on the way.
Went with 9-iron, had out the 8 as well.
Oh, mistake. Maybe trying to force it a little bit. And she's going to have to chip that in, which, well, you see quite a bit of the ball, so maybe possible. Let's go to 14.
Playing with Amy Olsen in the next to last grouping, Nasa Hataoka. Second shot, par 5 14th. Beware the one-handed follow-through. This could be good, Judy.
Boy, she's a really good player from Japan, and she surprises me every time I watch her play with how far she hits the ball.
Diminutive in stature. Powerful player. 13.
I mentioned Brooke needing to chip it in for birdie to try and start a challenge. Brock Larson can do with knocking it close here, Jerry.
Yes, she could.
Well,
got a loudish vehicle of some type going by the road here. Going with 9-iron also. Breeze feels like it's lessened just a bit. And this is right of the hole and needs to go, it looks like.
carries the bunkers. It's okay in the end. Not as close as Jinyoung Ko, who leads by 2. Lizette Salas has a great chance for a birdie at the 15th when we come back. Back on the 13th, Brooke Henderson trying to chip this one in. Is it doable here, Jerry?
Oh, this is going to take some luck. This is just a horrible little lie down in a rut between 2 clumps.
Just kind of chopped it. Didn't get enough on it, but she makes up and down. Probably won't be too bad considering what Jerry was telling us about the lie.
Amy Olsen, a terrific second shot on the par 5 14th. Needs every putt at this point to make the U.S. Solheim Cup team. This for Eagle. She's giving Julie Inkster an awful lot to think about. Trying to make her first Solheim Cup team. Annie Park has finished her round with a birdie at the 9th hole, and so she's done at the moment. As we update this, at the moment, Annie Park is tied for 47. If it were to end as it is right now, Annie Park would have Amy Olsen by the narrowest of margins, just a fraction of a point. And again, those are the projected rankings. If it were to end as it is now, still 4 holes left for Amy Olsen. 13.
Brock Larson for birdie.
Not a tough putt, all things considered, but 20 feet, turning just a little left, slightly downhill.
That's pretty good right there. Maybe this is the start of a Danish challenge. It gets her to 20 under. It may just keep the position the same because Jinyoung Ko has a great chance for birdie. And we will go to the 15th where Salas has this for another birdie.
Very confusing putt. Looks like it goes left to right. She just watched another player's go right to left.
Oh, wow. She had the line, Gail. And that is disappointing for Lizette because she's starting to run out of holes, and Jinyoung Ko has a few holes in hand. So Lizette looking for a miraculous final day. Try and equal or better her low round, which is a 62. She's done that on a couple of occasions. Back over to 13. Jinyoung Ko for birdie.
This one's just slightly uphill, turning right early, just a bit. A little bit slower than even I thought there.
14 is going to be an interesting hole because Henderson and Brock Larson have a little extra length. Jinyoung Ko, though, has been moving it out a bit more this year. And Eagle could go a long way for those chasers at the 14th. Just a moment to go at the 13th. Brooke Henderson trying to save par. it's costly, really costly for Brooke. She's going to fall back to 17 under and 5 shots behind. Carlota Segunda here at the 15th for birdie. Has to get to 17 under. And in the battle for the Solheim Cup spot, that could actually affect Amy Olsen. So Segunda with a little pre-Solheim Cup match.
It's already begun.
Yeah, it's already started. A matchup that we could see at Glen Eagles. Olsen versus Segunda.
This is where it stands. 5 holes to play. Par 5 14th. The leader Jinyoung Ko on the tee, up 2.
Set up to take it across the big expanse of bunkers at the left.
Nicole Brock-Larson hit it straight across all those bunkers. Don't know if it got to the fairway. This is going to land on the top part.
Oh.
Change, same thing. Yeah, same thing.
Maybe in that bunker. Let's go to 15.
Amy Olsen needs to push here, try and climb up that leaderboard if she's going to earn a spot through the world rankings. Flag tucked on the left. She's gone left of that flag. That's a mistake. Maybe pushing a little too much. See a lot of that golf ball, but that is the short side. Back to 14.
Jerry, 5 down with 5 to play.
You never know. Oh, that was tattooed. That's a really good line. Bounce left down the slope, perhaps.
There are a few players we say, never say never. And Brooke is one of them.
What a great tee shot. Perfect.
Fellow Canadian Justin Bieber may have sung about that. Lizette Salas on the tee at 16, 2 back.
Right down center of the fairway. Great line. That's not to be the least bit expected from her.
Yeah, any place in the fairway, and it's a really generous hole location today, right in the center of the green.
Jinyoung Ko, the world #1, looking for her 4th victory, but a challenge being mounted by Salas and Brock-Larson, and Brooks not out of it.
This is a delicate one for Amy Olsen. Oh, dear, dear. Oh, grass flew up. You can't be serious. She's left it that short.
83.
Jinyoung Ko, beautiful expanse of land lying out before them at 14.
Just
Right into the green.
no, you have to keep it right of the a little bit further right, between the 2 bunkers.
Yep.
What's the play here, Jerry?
She's laying it up out to the right only because of the lie sitting down in a groove. If it were a really clean lie, she could actually get this to the green. Taking a fair bit of time on this, and this group was officially put on the clock on the tee box. Never a slow player. 1 bad time's not a penalty. And she knows that. That's well out to the right. Should stay in the fairway.
Yeah, it's okay. Sounded really solid out of that bunker.
So she'll have a 3rd shot at this par 5. 2nd shots for Brock-Larson and Brooke Henderson in a moment. First, Lizette Salas, 2 back at 16.
From 126, pitching wedge. Getting a little help from the wind. It's pushing it a little to the left.
9 birdies today for Salas in search of her 2nd LPGA Tour victory, her first in 5 years. Back to the 14th, 5 down, 5 to play. 2nd shot at the par 5 for Brooke Henderson.
Just 177 yards to the hole. Down breeze out of the left, and that's not good. That's well right.
When she's needed to be brilliant, she's just been okay today. She was brilliant yesterday. 9 under for her last 11 holes to give herself a chance.
If that's okay.
Nicole Brock-Larson has fought tooth and nail to stay in this championship.
Great chance here. 174 the hole, 7 iron. And Green's just sitting there saying, come and get me. Yesterday she hit a beautiful 5 iron into this green.
Made eagle.
Boy, this shot right here could turn her day around.
Career.
You're right, Grant.
It's well right as well. That's going to miss the green also by a bit.
Shocked.
For both. Jinyoung Ko doesn't need any help. She got a little bit there from her fellow competitors. But again, this is the projected Rolex World Rankings. Projected. So look how close it is. 0.02 of a point between Park and Olsen. And I want to stress, these are projections. It won't be finalized until after the tournament. Amy Olsen has a putt for par at 15, and Annie Park could still maybe finish a little higher or a little lower. 15.
And this is the par putt.
Oh,
just enough. That close may become the end of the day. It looked like it was just going to slip away. It was a quick putt. Look at it. It actually goes in on the low side. And it keeps Amy Olsen in 6th on her own.
Little right, yeah.
And back to our final group. Third shots coming up for all three. This is Ko.
Great angle, just a little inside 90 yards. The ball is ever so slightly above her feet. Not a big factor.
You see her look just ahead of the ball every time she sets the club down. I believe she is a spot aligner. She looks for that spot right in front of the golf ball that's on the line to where she wants to start the ball, and she uses that to place the club face. That was a Nicklaus trait, as I remember.
That's a pretty good spot where she's left it.
You bet.
That'll be for birdie, and so again, she's essentially forcing her fellow competitors to do something heroic. And after that horseshoe putt dropped for par into the horseshoe, 16, 17, and 18 goes Amy Olsen. 20 collegiate victories, Judy.
Yeah, she's been helped a lot in recent years by young Ronnie Stockton, younger son of Dave Stockton, and a very experienced and very well thought of teacher.
27 years old, Amy Olsen, looking for one of the biggest days of her career. Back at the 14th, Jinyoung Ko within just a few feet for birdie, and third shots coming up for Brock Larson and then Henderson.
Both pretty decent lies. Not anything to really have to deal with. Downhill lies, green slope slightly away. It's just a matter of touch and nerve right here. But these could get really close, if not better.
She said this is the year that she has worked so hard on her short game.
Unfortunately, still 126 in scrambling this year, but that's a beauty. Excellent touch and pretty good nerve.
It is up 40 spots in the scrambling statistic from where she was a year ago. Lizette Salas, 2 back, a chance to get a little closer here at 16.
And a very realistic birdie opportunity. 14 feet downhill, a little left to right. Should have no trouble getting to the hole.
Henderson's third at 14.
Played it well back in her stance on that downhill line to try and catch it a little more cleanly.
Might have needed to make that one good, but so was Jinyoung Ko's. So 3 short birdie putts coming up at the 14th for our final group. Get Get more with Golf Pass. More tee time credits, more original shows, and more travel deals, plus a free dozen tailor-made golf balls. Join now with a 7-day free trial. More golf, one pass. Golf Pass. 47th playing of the CP Women's Open. The defending champion Brooke Henderson lit up Magna Golf Club yesterday. Shot 29 on the second 9 holes to give herself a chance. And she's done so much in her 21 years. What did last year's victory in Saskatchewan mean to her?
To have won the CP Women's Open last year is probably a highlight of my career so far. You know, just being with all the great fans from the nation and just having so much attention on me, and then still be able to perform as well as I did and execute those shots under pressure was really exciting for me, and I feel like it gave me a lot of confidence and a lot of momentum.
Judy, we say the winningest golfer. We're talking about professional. We don't want to forget the great Marlene Street, whom you saw earlier this week. The most prolific winner in terms of amateur events.
That's right, and we say hi to Marlene Street. She is an astounding Canadian golfer, never turned professional, but she won so many times we can't count them, and she has a spot in the World Golf Hall of Fame.
And I dare say Brooke Henderson's going to make a run at that prestigious shrine as well. She's the defending champ. She's now the winningest professional player. Sunyoung Park won a couple of years ago. Lydia Ko, incredible. As an amateur, twice the youngest to ever win an LPGA Tour event. And there's Brooke with that almost a sacred type burden, playing for your home country, in your home country. And Jinyoung Ko now with a short putt for birdie.
Not much to it.
She always has the heel of her putter just a millimeter or so off the ground. It's a tiny separation, but the putter does not sit exactly flat on the surface.
So you think about the wayward second shot at 9. She escaped after taking an unplayable lie and adding a stroke, saved her par, wavered off the tee here at the par 5 14th, and still comes away with a birdie. And now Brock Larson to match it and stay 2 back with 4 to play. Can't say enough about what this could mean for Nicole Brock Larson. Even if she doesn't win, a chance to move inside the top 60 in that race to the CME Globe.
They're back on the tee at the 15th. Jinyoung Ko leads by 2.
Larson played first and annihilated one down the middle. This one starts a little left. Fairway slopes left as well.
That left semi-rough is a lot of action this week, and she's going to be over there with the flag on the left side. Not the best angle. And we'll go up to the 16th.
Amy Olsen with the par save at 15. Now has a birdie putt at 16. And Judy, even if she weren't to move into one of those 2 world ranking spots, what do you think today is doing for Julie Inkster in terms of making a case for Amy Olsen?
I think, you know, when your hand is forced and you have to make a case and you pull it off and you do it and you show how well you're playing and how well you can play under pressure, you know, any captain who is looking at current form has to pay an awful lot of attention to this. You know, we talk all the time about the players who don't get in, the 2 or 3 who might have been, you know, right on the bubble, and how hard that is. Imagine if this player who has played her heart out this week and today,
knowing what was at stake.
Yeah, absolutely knowing what was at stake, doesn't get in by the very smallest margin. I think it's pretty evident to people how tough that would be.
One thing we can say with some certainty is that either Annie Park or Amy Olsen will not get in, and it will be by the smallest of margins. 15.
Henderson's tee shot.
That's struck pretty nicely. Same line as Larson, but it's not going to make it to that ball.
Lizette Salas on the tee at the 17th.
This tee up today, 142 yards. Cut very closely to the front edge. She's got 8 iron. I feel like this is a lot of club.
Yeah, you're right. It's going to end up in that back bunker. Hardest hole of the week, the 17th. Today it's slightly easier. Still the 3rd hardest hole out there. Only had 6 birdies today, and Lizette Salas in a bit of trouble. Back at 15, Jinyoung Ko, just in that semi-rough.
Yeah, 86 yards downwind, bad angle. No way to get this one really close. Probably not aiming at it.
Control is so good. So good. 17th, Salas from the bunker.
Very delicate shot. Doesn't want to be too aggressive, or this will come right out and end up down the hill in the pond.
Water on the other side.
Correct.
If you don't see it in the background.
And it is downhill from the top edge of the green to the flag as well. Spin
Aggressive play. Going to stop before the penalty area. Give her a chance to save par. At the 15th, Nicole Brock-Larsen second.
Just 72 yards. Well, rehearsed the low skipper type shot. That's what she tried.
Too much skip. Gives you an indication of how good Jinyoung Ko's second shot was from a more difficult spot to 18.
Angel Yin came in 32nd. Rolex rankings. This for par. And a solid round of 2 under par 70. She's tied for 10th. She is going to get one of those 2 spots from the world rankings list and be on her 2nd straight Solheim Cup team at the age of 20. It's a 2-shot lead for Jinyoung Ko. She's inside Brock-Larsen, both with birdie putts at 15. And Amy Olsen needs a 2-way tie for 5th at the latest projections to move ahead of Annie Park and Austin Ernst and get that 2nd world ranking spot. 15.
And Brooke Henderson will be first to play here.
Putting back into the breeze, slightly uphill, turning left, not a ton. Another really tucked hole location, right on the spine of another slope. Get this below the hole and it can run out left quite a ways.
One of the few players to have a caddy attend the flag these days. He says that it helps with distance control. Certainly helped there. A late challenge from Henderson. Months ago, she entered the final round at Wascana Country Club with a 1-shot lead. She birdied 4 of her first 8 holes, 33 on the front 9. She went on to win by 4 over Angel Yin. Different story this year. She was trailing coming into the day, a couple of shots behind, and just didn't get off to a great start. And then she hasn't made enough of those birdies, but they still love her here, especially in Ontario, her home province.
You know, it's painful when you look at her scorecard is the only bogey she's made today was with a 9-iron in her hand.
Yeah. Now Nicole Brock-Larsen.
Had to move her mark so she knows exactly what it does.
I give her a great deal of credit for her composure today, the way she has stuck in there. She's coming to the last holes with still a chance to win.
Saganda for birdie at 17.
Lengthy birdie opportunity.
This will affect Amy Olsen.
She's got a little bit of work to do there, Tom.
Yeah, if Olsen gets into a tie for 5th with just one other player, then it's good enough. But she's one behind Saganda. Let me see if Saganda were to drop a shot, she would fall back into a tie for 5th alongside Amy. And on the flip side, if Amy Olsen can birdie.
I'm betting it's a good thing Amy Olsen can't see all these possibilities.
Yeah. Amy Olsen is an accounting major.
She would be good at figuring
She probably
it out.
knows exactly where she stands.
Yeah, she's a real CPA. In fact, Jinyoung Ko might want to hire her.
Love to be her CPA.
At the top of the leaderboard, the battle is on to win this thing, and this is Jinyoung Ko for birdie.
A little bit on the slower side here, not much break.
It's so tough to beat this player right now with the way that she's playing. She wasn't in a great position off the tee, but just wonderful control with the second shot makes it look easy. She leads by 3.
After a birdie at 15, Jinyoung Ko, world #1, leads by 3 with 3 holes to play, entering the horseshoe here at 16.
Absolutely striped.
Yeah, just left of that beautiful maple tree that does not affect play for these women.
Her par putt horseshoed in yesterday right here at 16th. That was the closest she's come to making bogey. 17.
Lizette Salas for par.
And not really a lot of movement in this putt.
She thought there was, but you were right, Gail.
Boy, choosing the right line and the right club at 17 has been one of the mysteries of the week.
It looks easier from here, doesn't it, Judy?
Well, we're thinking 142 yards. You can figure that out, but...
All right, 3 back, 3 to play. Denmark's Nicole Brock-Larsen.
Brooke Henderson already played and hit a beauty up the right center. Right on the same line as this one.
Nicole Brock-Larsen's average this week off the tee average has been 274 plus yards.
17.
And the battle that is going on here for the Solheim Cup spot. Saganda for par. This is a moment ago. That means that she is going to fall into a tie with Amy Olsen. And there's only 2 players in the tie, which, according to our projections, means Amy is now going to move ahead of Annie Park for one of those spots on the Solheim Cup team. But she's got to get it into the house. And it's got to be a tie for 5th with one other player at worst. So it is coming down to the wire here.
At the 16th, Brooke Henderson, you see alone in 4th.
Breeze in from the left, uphill lie, pitching wedge.
She just sees the top of the flag.
It's heading right at the top of the flag.
She's birdied her last 2 holes, but so has Jinyoung Ko. She remains 5 back. Huge shot at 17.
Yeah, it's dangerous here. We've seen a lot of mistakes, a lot of bogeys here. Olsen can't afford to make a mistake.
142, 8-iron seemed like the right club.
Well, bit of work to do.
Second shot for Nicole Brock-Larsen, 3 back.
1 yard closer, same club, pitching wedge. Good line as well. It sits.
Should check, yes. Jinyoung Ko still to play. To the tee of the 18th and Lizette Salas.
This hole playing directly into the wind today. It's a good solid shot just down the left-hand side of the fairway.
8 under par for the day and in the fairway at the final hole.
17 and 18 are the 3rd and 5th toughest holes today, respectively. Three-shot lead for Jinyoung Ko in the fairway at 16.
She too with a pretty full wedge from 113. Little right of the hole.
You go back to the 9th hole. She hit her second shot into the vegetation, took an unplayable lie, still scrambled for par, has not made a bogey all week. 17.
And Amy Olsen trying to get this one right, coming back down the hill. Amy 4 under for the day. Did not get off to a great start. Bogeyed the opening hole, but then bounced back with a couple of birdies. She would have known starting the day that a Solheim Cup spot was possible. Looking for it to release. And it's trying, but it's one of those awkward length putts now for Olsen that is just vital. So we've been talking quite a bit about this. The projected Rolex Women's World Rankings. Look how close that is. I mean, it's less than 1/100th of a point. So right now, that is about as close as you can get. But of course, if Amy Olsen were to drop a shot and fall out of a tie for 5th, Annie Park will move back in. And we do want to stress that these are projections. They won't be official until tomorrow. But with all the calculations that are going on behind the scenes, that is what the computer is telling us. Blame the computer if it's not right.
Here's what we know. Jinyoung Ko, in terms of winning the CP Women's Open, has a 3-shot lead, and she's got this for birdie at the 16th.
This one just about sealed the deal. The only possible thing that could happen would be hitting a bad shot on the next hole, which is, or has been, the toughest hole on the course and produced the most big numbers this week. A little bit downhill, slight bit of turn left.
Golf is not a game of perfect. Sometimes she makes it look awfully close. At 18, Lizette Salas' second shot.
Yardage says 173. Uphill into the wind. This is a 5 hybrid.
Oh, really deep in the green at 18.
Sure is. Well, just 7 from the back edge.
What a day for Lizette Salas. She was 9 under par with 4 holes to play. Par bogey since, but a chance at a closing birdie. And in really good form heading into the Solheim Cup. She's now one of the veterans on that team. 16, a chance for Brock Larson.
Hey guys, can you stay quiet, please? Thank you.
From the shadows into the light. Which is what this week in some ways has been for her on the golf scene. Quick walk.
Well, it finally turned, but not until it got beyond the hole.
Lead remains 3, 17.
We know this doesn't quite break as much as players think. This for par.
Vital.
No, it's going to stay left. That's a huge mistake for Amy. She's going to fall out of a tie now. And that could be the spot on the Solheim Cup. Gone, who knows? She said earlier in the week she's dreamed of playing in the Solheim Cup since she was a little girl, growing up playing the game. She wanted to represent the United States. Maybe it's just fallen away with that putt.
Representing Canada, as she always does with such grace. Brooke Henderson for birdie at 16. This is a heck of a defense of her unforgettable week last year in Saskatchewan. It's going to be a little short. 21 years old. Already the winningest professional in Canadian golf history in terms of the major tours. 3-shot lead with 2 to play. Number 1 in the world, Jinyoung Ko. Big tee shot coming up, though, at the 17th. Water left. And so Saganda is back alone in 5th after the Olsen bogey. She's already on the European Solheim Cup squad. Second shot.
From 167, ball above her feet. This is headed left.
Okay.
Not too much trouble, I wouldn't think.
Just about a 4 or 5 footer for par at 17. We go to 17.
And a hole that has us scratching our head slightly when you look at the yardage and the way that it's played. But there is a lot of danger lurking here. The green isn't easy. The back bunker's been getting a lot of action. And well, Jinyoung Ko needs to get through this without making a mistake. Meanwhile, a birdie will go a long way for Nicole Brock-Larsen. It is the CP Has Heart hole. $5,000 for every birdie made. 42 birdies so far. $210,000. And fans here have been able to donate as well. There's a little tent over on the left side where folks can make a donation. So it's been a really worthy week in terms of the money that's been raised for the Sick Kids Foundation. They are renovating the cardiac operating suite for the youngsters that need it so much. So really, really positive step that is made every year by CP.
I think they're better players at it, and just if it goes past this, better.
Nicole and Jinyoung have not birdied this hole, and
121.
Brooke Henderson has both birdied it once, and that was yesterday.
26 pin.
26 degrees.
Yeah.
All right, after the bogey at 17, that drops her out of what we believe is the 2nd world ranking spot for the Solheim Cup team. Amy Olsen needs a good tee shot here at a tough 18th. Done it. The U.S. junior champion 10 years ago, as Tom said, has talked openly about the dream of making a Solheim Cup team. Back to 17.
Just a touch right. Middle of that little tent. 120.
And they work in meters. Asking her to hit a 132-yard shot right at the flag. Should be straight downwind, but it really swirls back on this tee box. When she stepped up onto the tee, it felt like it was in. So you got to trust it. Not a lot of room for error here. 9-iron.
Pretty big 9-iron.
And pulled it. That's the longest carry, but it should carry.
Wow. She was concerned when that ball was in the air. And rightly so. She's gotten away with it. Look how close that is. You see it just drops right away to the water. That's why this hole has caused so many issues.
It's one like 43 run out. Okay, so am I hitting it 135 or 138? I like 135. 135 at the right side of the fence? Yeah. Yeah. You said it was knocking it down. Well, like I think it was helping it, but like you know, sometimes when it helps, it just like puts overspin on it. Okay. So 135. Yeah, I don't think you can really tell them to do anything. 70 cents? Yeah.
Brooks going with a little 8-iron here.
Trying to start it right at that little white picket fence.
This just hasn't been sharp with her irons today, Judy.
She's 3 under for the day. But when you look at the way that Jinyoung Ko has played, 3 under was not going to be good enough.
You've got About 11.
Nicole Brock-Larsen 3 behind, needs to make 2 here.
Or better.
Yeah.
9 iron. Actually, more than enough club, so she might be hitting a smooth one. It's a little right, looks a little past it as well, or a lot.
It's okay.
It's a tough hole to get the ball close. Brock-Larsen looking for something special. Jinyoung Ko leads by 3. We're back in the final round of Canada's National Open, the CP Women's Open. Yeah, just north of Toronto. And this is the young lady that a lot of people came out to watch today with high hopes that she could pull off another title defense. She's done it twice before, once in Portland, once in Hawaii, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here. This for a birdie at the 17th.
A little bit on the downhill side, turning left the entire way, but all those thousands of people that came out to see her today, Tom, are still so very appreciative on every shot, every time she walks by. She's an absolute legend at the age of 21.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. She'll be in the field next week at the Cambia Portland Classic. A place where she has won twice before. In fact, her first victory came there at Columbia Edgewater.
She was actually a qualifier that week when she won for the first time. And you might be interested to know that her sister, Brittany, was in the field. She had gotten a special invite as she was playing on the Symetra Tour at the time. And so for that reason, Brooke decided to try to qualify. And turned out well for the entire family.
Yes, it was a well thought out plan by the organizers. They thought if we invite her sister, they couldn't give Brooke an invite. She'd used all of her invites.
That's right.
If we invite her sister, maybe Brooke will come and qualify, and she did. And then she won. Brock-Larsen for birdie, needs it.
She does, you never know. It's a little uphill just initially, then downhill the rest of the way. And it should be sliding right, but putting back into the breeze. This is a really tough one to judge the speed. Well, that's a good looking putt.
Oh, that did turn a little bit.
Oh, wow, just hit the brakes.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be a career best finish, though, for Nicole Brock-Larsen. She had her career best finish prior to this week, a tie for 3rd in the CP Women's Open a couple of years ago.
Birdie putt for Lizette Salas to close out a terrific Sunday.
20 feet, left to right slider. Just not quite enough speed.
Her last 2 Sundays have been pretty good. 65, the AIG Women's British Open, lost by 1 to Inako Shibuno. And a 64 today for Salas.
And that tap in, she steps over Segonda's 5-footer for par.
It sure appears like she's going to enjoy her second win sometime pretty soon, the way she's playing the game.
17.
A little icing on the cake maybe for Jinyoung Ko here. This for birdie.
Very slow putt.
You guessed it. Light the candles. That is just terrific golf. No bogeys. And she is 7 under for the day. 25 under par. On a golf course that is fairly lengthy for the LPGA Tour. Isn't that easy? She's making it look easy. And this is what the fans saw there in the hospitality tent.
Big fairways, big greens, a really well bunkered golf course, but you still have to hit the shots.
And how about how that ball must have looked in the air at 17 and to walk away with the 2?
And now Nicole Brock-Larsen. Okay. Started this week with the goal of moving up the money list and being able to qualify for the 4 events in Asia, limited field events in Asia, and I think she's going to do that with this finish as we go to 18.
Okay, so the bogey from Olsen at 17 changes Olsen's situation to the point really where Saganda's finish doesn't matter. This is a par putt for Saganda.
And a 5-footer that'll slide slightly left to right.
Even if Saganda were to miss, Olsen still will need birdie. She's back in the fairway waiting.
Carlotta's been knocking on that door to win an awful lot this season.
Katrina Matthew will lean heavily on her, won't she, in a month's time? Win Eagles. It's been a week of high fives and well wishes for Brooke Henderson, the defending champion, the winningest player in professional golf history in Canada among the major tours, 9 of them. The final group on the 18th tee waiting, as the group ahead of them is as well. A 4-shot lead for Jinyoung Ko, the world #1. Just 1 hole away from her 4th victory of the season. She birdies the toughest hole on the course to push her lead to 4. Wei-Ling Shi from Chinese Taipei. Bit of a struggle today, back to 11 under par. 2 over and over the green.
Yeah, first 3 rounds in the 60s, though. Pretty darn good golf, and a 65, one of those.
So here we go. Amy Olsen, Gail, needs a birdie. There have been 5 today at the 18th hole. If she can find the 6th, then according to our projections, it would be enough for her to earn the 2nd world ranking spot on the U.S. Solheim Cup team. It's that simple, we believe.
And she's got 153 to the hole. Wind gusting just a little bit. You saw her change clubs there. Looked like a little 6-iron. Didn't really go after it.
She'll have a chance. It was the 18th hole at Evian last September where she made double bogey, went from 1 ahead to 1 behind, and there are a lot of holes you could look at in 2 years, but that would be one that right now would be the difference most likely in her having already clinched a spot.
Yeah, it would have totally changed her situation. Nasa Hataoka.
And just a yard closer, this is a 7-iron. A beautiful line.
Yeah, great little compact golf swing, strong player.
She's not very big, Judy, but she's got some strong legs. Hits the ball out there sneaky far.
Judy, you have been, I've been watching you here. You've been living and dying with all of these shots. You're reliving, aren't you, what you went through in 96 and 98 as the captain?
Yeah, and you know, I've never done it, but I can put myself in that situation where you have that last day to make that impression. And I think what Amy Olsen's done is really something, because you know, she started out hoping she could make a point, but the fact is she doesn't know if she doesn't know at this moment if it's going to be good enough or not. But you've got to give her an awful lot of credit for the courage to put it out there on the line. I also want to make sure that I mention that number 9 in the point standings is Allie McDonald. She did a pretty good job herself today and shot 67. Yeah. She could not pass Altamari, but she certainly is playing well.
No one's played better today, this week, this year than Jinyoung Ko. 4-shot lead on the tee at 18.
Big fairway, wind from the right. No real trouble unless you go way left. And that one's going to miss the fairway. Or is it?
Here it comes.
Even her bad shots are pretty awesome.
Yeah, half a foot maybe. Just 24 years old, turned 24 this summer.
That long time even going out, and there's 3 white little racks. Yeah. Those sort of at the left on the little tree.
You all have heard this a lot of times from me, but I first met Brooke Henderson when she was 14 playing here in this tournament, and I am not surprised that she has come to be the young woman that she is, but it has also been quite a lovely trip to follow.
She has been awesome again this year, the defending champion. Not quite enough.
Probably 20, 30,000 people on this hole who absolutely adore her, and that is just hyped.
Medina Springs, the horse farm adjacent to the property here, has been a gracious host. And each of these holes at Magna Golf Club named for a great horse. And you see the horse jump behind the tee. Nicole Brock-Larson is going to jump up significantly. She's going to make more money this week than she has all year by a lot.
She might be making Katrina Matthew wish that she had till after this tournament when she had to make her picks as well.
This girl can really strike a golf ball. I first saw Nicole Brock-Larson on the practice tee at a Women's British Open at Turnberry a few years ago, and had no idea who she was, but watched her strike a couple of shots, and it made me just stop and take notice and ask who she was.
It's going to need a bounce to catch the fairway right side.
She is a ball-striking talent that you will see again, I promise.
This is going to move her from 86th on the money list, in danger of losing her card, into the top 50 and a good chance to get to the CME Group Tour Championship. Jinyoung Ko, moments away from her 4th victory of the season. There has never been a current #1 player win the CP Women's Open. She's about to change that.
She's writing some record books.
Rewriting and writing. And let's look at our UL Innovative Shots of the Day. Jinyoung Ko has not made a bogey this week. She actually trailed by 1 after beginning the day tied for the lead after Brock-Larson made a birdie at the first, but Jinyoung tied her at the 6th, that one at the 8th. And then the last real trouble shot, she tugged her tee shot here at 17 a little bit, found the green, and then found the bottom of the cup to push her lead to 4. When that ball was airborne, there were some nervous moments. But no nerves now. The UL Innovative Shots of the Day from Jinyoung Ko. And there's that unblemished scorecard. She's got 3 of them completed already. And needs a par or better to complete another. Amy Olsen has a putt at the 18th green. According to our projections, if Amy Olsen makes, she would move ahead of Annie Park, and look, 0.005 of a point she would move ahead of Annie Park. That's by our projections. It's not official. But this, one of the biggest putts of her life, this for birdie.
And she can't know, but she does know.
Yeah, Judy, she's just trying to make a position in the event. Everything else will take care of itself.
That was the putt of someone trying to make it, wasn't it, Judy?
Yep.
Has she done enough to convince Julie Inkster with this run today? And this much improved play over the last 2 years, really, Judy. Contending at a major championship, playing well with everything on the line. Wei Ling Shi, young player from Chinese Taipei, has a par putt. Saw her over the green in 2.
Not much movement to this, just a little downhill. Should stay relatively straight.
day for Wei Ling. .75 after that terrific 65 yesterday. Par putt coming up for Amy Olsen. That's the mark you might be able to see. First, Nasa Hataoka.
Beautiful shot in here. If anything, it'll go there to her left. But again, it's really flat around the hole, so there's not a lot of a swing.
Amy Olsen wondering what might have been. Judy, it is worth noting, a couple of years ago, Nasa Hataoka was a bit lost after a rookie season out here on the LPGA Tour. Went back to her native Japan, won a couple of times, including a major championship, and then broke out last year with a couple of wins.
Yeah, I think, you know, she has one trait that we see in Jinyoung Ko. They are both very mentally strong.
Strong enough for birdie at 18. She moves into a tie for fifth. The winner earlier this year at the Kia Classic. 3 wins for Nasa. And she cannot wait to play in her home country in the Olympics. A year from now. Brooke Henderson's an Olympian. Amy Olsen, par putt.
Makes this for a round of 69.
Regroups, saves par. And now she'll have to wait. According to our projections, she will come up just short of Annie Park for a Solheim Cup automatic spot. Julie Inkster will announce the final 2, the captain's picks, tomorrow morning on Morning Drive. And the stage is cleared for the national hero and world #1, along with Nicole Brock-Larson, to finish up a memorable week.
Wait for this to
Jinyoung Ko would make par here for back-to-back rounds of 65.
Well, 71 holes, not making it worse than par. I like her chances. Going with 8 iron, breeze from the right, plays uphill a fair bit, so this is not going over the green.
One more beauty.
Yes, that'll do. This player, her last start was at the Women's British Open at Woburn in England, and her last bogey was early in the 3rd round at Woburn. That is amazing.
I think it's good. I think 42 to 45 is good.
105 straight holes.
Because I don't think it's hurting right now. It didn't really hurt her.
And here is their hero, Brooke Henderson.
Just almost started at the phone. Good? Yeah.
Uphill lie, smooth 7 iron from 143.
Kind of the story of the day. hasn't it been for Brooke? Just a little bit off?
Yep, just a little bit off, but she got everybody pretty excited yesterday when she did not start well and then shot 29 on the back nine.
She is 3 under today, we should mention.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole Bronk-Larsen did not get all the way back to the fairway, but close.
Just pulled a bit.
Jinyoung Ko began watching golf on her father's knee. They were watching Se-Ri Pak break out in 1998. Her mom took her to the range, and she's become the world's best. And here comes the player who last year became just the 3rd Canadian to win on home soil in a major tour event. She has carried the flag for Canada with uncommon grace.
Well, you betcha. These two are friends off the course. I know they would say thank you for such great crowds because players really respond to people who respond to good golf.
Gail Graham, you're a member of the Canadian Golf Hall of Fame, and I said yesterday that the obvious, that Brooke would one day join you. Can you put into words what she has meant to this so proud golfing nation?
Wow. You know, you talked briefly on the way up with Jinyoung talking about Se-Ri, and I think that Brooke will have the same influence here in Canada. I think she already has. We've seen, you know, so many younger players, even than Brooke, be coming up through the amateur ranks and on the national team. And she's not just a great player, she's such a great ambassador and a really good person. And I think that has really inspired a lot of families to introduce their young girls to golf. And I think, you know, most definitely she'll be joining us in the Hall of Fame. And I look forward to that day.
You know, what Gail just said about this young woman is reflected in her demeanor, it's reflected in her face, it's reflected in the way she treats people every day. Boy, are we lucky to have her on the LPGA Tour.
Yeah. Yeah, Brooke just had that spot. The whole way. Left to right, eh? Left to right, yeah, through here. Like 2 feet? I feel like pretty regular overall, right?
I've had numerous Americans refer to her as the All-American girl, and I have to remind them that she is the All-Canadian girl.
Jerry Folks, you see angles, situations more than almost anyone on this tour. And, she is as graceful in the spotlight as she is behind the scenes, isn't she?
She has been. The very first time I interviewed her, what was she, Judy? 16? 17, maybe?
Yeah, it could have been.
And I told her dad, that's probably the best interviewee I've ever had in all my thousands of times of doing it. That hasn't changed yet. Just a grace beyond belief, a maturity that is to be admired. And, well, she's everything everybody here around the screen thinks she is, and I think she's going to be that way the rest of the time because that's who she is, that's how she was raised, and something this whole country can rightfully be proud of.
Parents Dave and Darlene lost both of her grandfathers last summer. It was an emotional year for her, capped by that incredible victory in Saskatchewan. And she hadn't even turned 21. She'll turn 22 next month. Now, a week to remember for Nicole Bronk-Larsen. It took the #1 player in the world to hold her off.
And Judy, we say it all the time for players in this position who haven't had a lot of experience in that position but have always had the talent. She proved a lot to herself this week, and especially this weekend, battling the nerves, battling her game to a certain degree, but showing to herself that she could do it. Sometimes you're the last to know.
Yeah, I have wondered over the last couple of years where she is because I have just watched her practice too many times. What a putt. Good putt. But I'm really happy for this player because she is ultra talented. And as soon as she figures out how to do it on the big stage, you're going to keep seeing her and keep seeing her. And I guess this might have been the week where she learned how to do it on the big stage.
And interestingly, as she wraps up her career best finish, solo second, it was the pressure coming off of trying to make the European Solheim Cup team that may have freed her up to her all-time best.
Logistically, it's tough for the Europeans, it's tough for the Americans to wait till the last minute to make all those choices and picks. As a result, something like what's happened with Nicole Brock-Larsen can happen.
We saw Elena Sharp, part of the A team, EHA, at the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational with Brooke Henderson, cheering her on. They were Olympians together. There's Elena with Amy Olsen behind her. Jinyoung Ko looking up. Everyone's looking up at her this week and this year.
Well, and thanks to Canada and CP and everyone from Golf Canada who makes this all possible, because every year it's a spectacular event.
The tie for third in her defense of last year's victory in Saskatchewan. And her countrywoman Gail Graham may have said it best. Who knows how many young people, boys and girls, she has inspired this week. Jerry, she's already got the tournament record. How about one more?
You can almost bank on it.
Under par had been the tournament record. Number one in Canada, number one in the world, Jinyoung Ko, the CP Women's Open champion for 2019. The first player since NB Park in 2015 to go a full 72 holes without a bogey and win. Her fourth victory of the season, 2 of the major championships. This one technically not, but it's the next biggest thing.
Yeah, 2 majors and a national championship.
There you go. 6th career victory, coming in 5 different countries, and she did it alongside Brooke Henderson, her good friend, and this Canadian sports hero. So there you go. CP Women's Open, 4th win of the year, 6th overall. And she is with Jerry Foltz.
Thank you very much. 72 holes without a bogey. Are practice rounds overrated?
Yeah, I didn't practice around as well. I played just pro am in 9 holes. And then my caddies arrived too late on Wednesday. But I'm still playing good today. I was happy.
You say your number one goal is to be the happiest golfer on the course. That's easy to do when you're the best golfer on the course. Do you have any other goals yet to achieve this year?
Don't know. I have left just 4 or 5 tournaments this year to LPGA Tour, so I will keep it up.
All right, we like your chances. Congratulations yet again.
Thank you.
Great. Grant?
All right, Jinyoung Ko pads her lead in the race to the CME Globe. She's almost lapped the field. Beauty. Brooke moves to number 2. And Carlota Segunda moves into the top 10 as well. Jinyoung Ko, the winner of the CP Women's Open, and so much more on the line for American players trying to make the Solheim Cup team. We will update where that stands when we come back to Aurora, Ontario. This first time at Magna Golf Club to host the CP Women's Open, Judy, it's been a home run, hasn't it?
Boy, it certainly has. It's the most gorgeous place, and we saw beautiful golf, great weather, big crowds.
It's a trophy you've hoisted in 1977. We have been following this all week, the last couple of years, and according to our projections, Angel Yin and Annie Park will get the 2 world ranking lists. Spots. Brittany Altamari, let's not forget, clinched her spot. She was not locked in as the 8th spot, but she does it here with a great top 20 this week. And Judy, you now see the 10, and that means Julie Inkster, who, like you, has captained it twice and is going to do it a 3rd time. This time has 2 huge decisions to make.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard for me to choose because, you know, I've not followed it as closely as Julie Inkster all year, but I will tell you this. Number 9 in the points is Allie McDonald. She shot 67 today. She's really played well. You got to look at that player who was right on the edge of being on the team without a pick. The other one is, of course, Amy Olsen, and you watch that valiant effort today. I can't say that these 2 rookies should be the pick, but I can tell you that the 3 experienced players that it would be between would be Christy Kerr, Stacey Lewis, and Morgan Pressel. They all 3 missed the cut. So I'll let you chew on that overnight.
Jinyoung Ko, there's a lot to chew on with this great player. Her 4th victory of the season, the 6th in her young career, just 24 years old. A kiss to the heavens. And she is running away with this race to the CME Globe, and she adds another most prestigious title to her resume. The final round of the Albertsons Boise Open as part of the Korn Ferry Tour Finals comes your way next, and then first round coverage of the Cambia Portland Classic Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Columbia Edgewater, where Brooke Henderson is twice the champion. Brooke made a great effort with the #1 player in the world to keep her at bay. Thanks to our producer Beth Hutter, director John Del Vecchio, our entire great crew of women and men bring you this coverage. Jerry Foltz, Gail Graham, Tom Abbott, Judy Rankin. I'm Grant Boone. #1 in the world, Jinyoung Ko, now the CP Women's Open champion, her 4th win of the year.